So late night host Jimmy Kimmel, Fallon, all push conspiracy theory that Trump captured Maduro to distract from Epstein files. Rob, if you got the clips, play it. We'll react to it. Go for it.
If you were wondering how bad these Epstein files are for Trump, turns out they're Invade Venezuela bad. This is literally the plot of the movie Wag the Dog. The president gets caught in a sex scandal, so he attacks a smaller country to distract us, and here we are, distracted. On Saturday, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife were captured by Delta Force at their home in Caracas and brought to New York. Trump watched the operation unfold in real time from the bunker in his basement at Mar-a-Lago. You can see there he is with a headset and Marco Rubio. This mission was called Operation Absolute Resolve, which is a title that was definitely generated by ChatGPT.
I'll tell you, my response to that is it's a really good warning to comedians and other hosts and other people who do shows that if you go too far down the conspiracy rabbit hole, or if you just get too politicized, and then all of a sudden you're not you're not in the funny business anymore. You're just in the it's politics, and it's it's really a propaganda through comedic imposition. They're imposing their views. And it wasn't funny, and it wasn't particularly interesting, and it's just factually incoherent. Because believe me, if there was anything in those files about Trump, the Democrats had it for years. They would have released it. But you think they would have hid that stuff to protect Trump? No, it would have been out.
Billboards.
So I mean, look, obviously all that stuff should come out, but the presumption that there's stuff there, how much more of this is it's people see that Russia was the only two people not involved in the Russia-Trump collusion was Russia and Trump. Everybody else seemed to be colluding. So I think the American people see through that. It's just like when you watch the news, depending if you're watching CNN, you have to go, if politics is war by other means, this is war. So it's just a political warfare. So what are they not telling you? And so in this thing, it's just, it's treating your audience like they're stupid or like they're just in your own political echo chamber. And it's like, he listens, I think he's affected by the head writer, who's his wife, who's a liberal that's...
The head writer is his wife?
Yeah, that's way out there.
Jimmy Kimmel's wife.
Jimmy Kimmel.
No, I know, but the head writer for what? For the show?
Jimmy Kimmel show,
For the show
Is his wife?
Did you see the podcast where he looked like he was a hostage by her over-liberal white anger and bitterness?
I think it's obviously... Look, Jimmy Kimmel's certainly capable of being funny. I remember doing...
Really?
I remember doing the show. He was the MC while we did the Hugh Hefner roast 8 days after 9/11. And he was funny. He can be funny. I think when you get so emotionally vested in something, and I just think it's I will tell you this right now. There's no way Disney's picking him up after his contract expires in April. They will let it expire, and that's it. Disney doesn't want this. Disney shareholders don't want politics. They just want entertainment. And why would you want to allow 50 automatically, say, okay, there's 80 million voters that we don't want watching our show? It's crazy. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you a direct question. He was funny after 9/11, so 24 years ago. When's the last time Jimmy Kimmel was actually funny?
Well, I will tell you, you can't really come up with that was a really good zinger. Jay Leno, you can remember. I remember his jokes, when he was on his, hey, you remember when Starbucks said, Starbucks is opening up another 600 Starbucks, and where can they open it up? The only place I can think of is inside of the Starbucks. He would have.
Leno was the best.
He was really the best comedian of his era, and he was.
But he was fair though. That's the thing about Leno. He
I think all those guys. Carson and Letterman. They. Let me finish. He
will do that often, and you're fine constantly going. Keep going.
No, but they obviously, whoever's in power they should go after, but with jokes. And I think traditionally Trump has been thin-skinned about any jokes, but I also think those were jokes.
Adam Carolla was here. He was very complimentary of Kimmel. Like, he wouldn't say anything bad about Kimmel because he said Kimmel's the reason why he came up and all this other stuff. So he's got.
But I know that him and they diverge. But we have to move. We all have to. We can have divergent views without demonizing each other. And the problem with what Jimmy Kimmel does and what I just saw is it's just a continuation of the demonization of half of America. And who's that getting? Why was that getting us anywhere?
Right.
I just think it's it's just politics for political gain. It's some sort of propaganda with comedic imposition. This is and the idea that the audience is going to laugh. They're not laughing. They're applauding, in the little political echo chamber. I'm telling you, he won't be there after April.
Well, let me read this. Let me read this. Rob, is this Colbert? Let's see Colbert, but I want to go to Conan right afterwards, and I want to get his thoughts on Conan. So go ahead and play this one here.
You know what this means? Those Epstein files must be crazy.
Bomb something! Bomb anything! To me, he's not funny. I can't laugh. I don't think I've ever laughed at anything he's done.
You can stop
and this is
it.
true. Trump's New Year's resolution was...
Let me read Conan's and I'm going to come to you. So Conan O'Brien says, F Trump comics have been co-opted by anger, just screaming. Comedian late night show Conan O'Brien criticizes comics who are more focused on screaming about Trump. Rob, was there a clip on this or was this? Okay, go for it. Play this.
Some comics go the route of,
can we raise the audio a little bit, guys?
I'm going to just say F Trump all the time, or that's their comedy. And I think, well, now a little bit you're being co-opted because you're so angry. You've been lulled. It's like a siren leading you into the rocks. You've been lulled into just saying F Trump, F Trump, F Trump. Screw this guy. And I think you've now put down your best weapon, which is being funny, and you've exchanged it for anger. And that person or any person like that would say, well, things are too serious now. I don't need to be funny. And I think, well, if you're a comedian, you always need to be funny. You just have to find a way.
Bingo.
And you just have to find a way to channel that anger into a way that is, because good art will always be a great weapon. Will always be a perfect weapon against power. But if you're just screaming and you're just angry, you've lost your best tool in the toolbox.
Rob, what do you say to that?
Well, I think that's wonderful. And, Conan's very logical, rational, and a good guy. And also, when he did his show, his monologues were about getting laughs. It wasn't about some political indoctrination through comedic imposition. I keep coming back to that. So he's 100% right. We have to be there to entertain. I mean, when I go, and, tonight, when I got 2 shows, I'm there to entertain them. And if I don't make them laugh, I mean, oops, I got to call my kid. She's on her way to school. We're there to entertain. And so, yes, I think you can have a political opinion, but it's just like, Jerry Seinfeld was saying the other day, and I talked to him about that at the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary, because he said, I don't believe that there's a woke thing and blah, blah, blah. And I said, there is woke. And he said, absolutely. And he said something like this, there's no woke canceling stuff. And he corrected himself, I think. And he said to me, no, I'm saying that there is, but you can find a way around it and still find a way to be funny, which is absolutely true. And he's one of the masters of all time. I mean, for his skill and acumen he's absolutely brilliant. I mean, he literally is a genius of comedy. And but he's right. You have to find a way to get to it. And so it seems like Jimmy Kimmel's just in a war, and before his contract expires, he's just going to continue to try to burn down as much and have a fire going. And I just said, Conan's right. Your biggest weapon is come up with something funny. Mm-hmm. And I think there's absolutely, you have to go after the people in power, and Trump's in power, and the Republicans are in power. But find a way to do it. I find a way to do it that has a surprise to it. And certainly, it's just illogical just to think that, somehow the Democrats would withhold, really evidence that was, showing Trump in a bad light. If they had it, believe me, it would be everywhere.
Rob, here's my thing. As a fellow comedian, that's just hack. That's just the joke that everybody. By the way, it's been going on for almost 10 years. It's a hack. He's a hack. The other guy's a hack. My question to you is, though, Rob, this is a studio decision. I know his wife is doing the writing, and he's in there, and they're patting each other on the back, and they're loving each other. But from a business standpoint, we saw the numbers a couple weeks ago. They've been hemorrhaging tens of millions of dollars. Nobody's watching. They haven't changed any course. He keeps spitting the same rhetoric. So my question is it the donors that are behind the Democratic Party that just want to just destroy? It's just anti-Trump.
Disney, as of this point, does not want the political backlash and will continue the bleeding until the contract's up in April. And then there is no reason financially or a business decision will be to not bring him back. And that's just, I'm not saying personally, it doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm just saying if they make a decision to keep him and to make redo his contract or give him a contract extension to Jimmy Kimmel, that's going to be a purely political decision based on not wanting any crap from the violent, or I should say, the virulent and loud liberal intelligentsia. But that same liberal intelligentsia isn't watching the show anymore. Because even they go, it's not funny. What am I getting out of it? They watched it for the first week or the first show when he came back. But if they do make that decision, it's not a business decision. They'll be telling their stockholders, we're not making business decisions. And I just think, it's a business. You have to make a decision. And you have to make a decision based on what is going to benefit your stockholders if you're in a business to make money. It's just like if they had a boat. If Disney has 7 cruise lines. They got the 7th one that they released last year. If that wasn't making money, then you take the boat off and you don't do that anymore. So this boat, the Jimmy Kimmel late night show, is not making money, and they got to bring it back to dock and figure out how to make money in that spot. That's it. It's a business decision. It's nothing personal. I think it's just those shows are going to go away anyway. Mm-hmm. I just think that's a form that people. Most
You're
people,
saying it's going to go away, like the late night
shows are going to all be gone. They're not going to have.
What's going to replace it?
Well,
is it going to be like podcasters and YouTubers like Kill Tony?
Yes, you're going to have people that are watching specific shows for them. Kill Tony is way bigger than all those shows.
That's right.
To exponentially to the 10th power, bigger than them. They have 10 million people will watch each episode. But Tony's there to get laughs, and he's also. I mean, I would say he's more Johnny Carson than any of these late night hosts. And he's a great man. I got to tell you, I've never had anybody in this business kinder to me than Tony Hinchcliffe. Out of the blue. Didn't know me, never really met me. He invited me on his show. And thank you, Tony, for having, the balls to have me. Because I don't get invited to the late night shows. But it's like, I'm a comedian. I'm there to get laughs. But I'm not going to give in to the, I want to go the other way. And I have gone the other way because it's more interesting. You want to go against the tide. But then I had against the tide, being conservative. In 2020 was not easy. I had as much as 30 people would get up and walk out for a joke about COVID at that time or about Biden or something. People would just, and so I had to literally, I talked to John Cleese, who's also, who's a extremely alleged, but also crazy, over the top, anti-Trump liberal. But he's a great man. I don't give a crap of what his politics are. But he said, Rob, I think you should give a warning before your shows. And I went, no, just say, for those of you who are feeling extremely, exceptionally sensitive, those who are trapped in their own political echo chamber, those whose when they hear ideas separate than their own may cause their emotional collapse, this may not be the show for you. And so I did a version of that, and I did it for like 2 years, just before. It was just a warning, because it's like, hey, this is a comedy show. You're going to hear jokes, and they're not going to be you need to challenge your audience. Otherwise, you're a bore. Right. So you got to challenge, and you got to challenge both sides. So I think that's what's going to make it interesting.
And Rob, how's your relationship with Adam